Welcome back to Highly Animated Podcast. I'm your co-host Jason, sitting here with my co-host Spencer,
What's up? What's up?
and joining us again, back for a second time on the Highly Animated Podcast, our boy, our fan, not number one fan, but number two fan for sure. Sorry, buddy. Pat, why don't you say what's up?
What's up, guys? I'm Pat. Happy to be
All
here.
right. Love it that you're here, buddy. So
Hey,
we are on
better be.
we are on video now, but like we said last time, you might not see the video. We're going through it. We're learning what's what. You couldn't see us on the screen most of the time. Hopefully this time it's better around. But anyways, we're going to be jumping into, as always, anime. And, we take a lot of feedback really seriously. Actually, Pat himself gave me some really good stuff, at the end of the last episode that kind of resonated with me. I think it did with Spencer too, right? On how we're approaching talking, you know what I mean? And like how we're setting it all up. So I'm going to make a more pointed effort. I just wanted to give you a shout out there, Pat. I definitely took it to heart, and we'll see how this episode plays out. Spencer, anything you want to say to our esteemed guest?
Well, I think everybody's been waiting to hear where we are at, where we left off at. What been a month now? Well, a month and a week
It's been a minute.
since we last had you on.
Yeah.
Obviously, we gave you a little. I wouldn't say homework. It wasn't homework. It was casual recommendation.
No. The way this guy texted me, it might have been homework.
Well, if you took it that way, that's fine. There's
just want to be transparent. We're not hiding here, okay?
Yeah, but I believe, there were some shows that we recommended, and it was not the end all be all. It was just, hey, off of the initial, kind of, I don't know, cookie cutter fucking, framework that you gave us. We gave you a little bit what we thought might fit that mold. And I think, maybe first and foremost, before we get into and delve too far into what we have planned, where we'll go the rest of this episode, did you make any progress on those? Number one, do you even remember the shows at this point that we recommended?
Yeah, I remember some of them, but first and foremost, I got to redact my statement from the last time I was here. I wouldn't say I like anime.
Okay. That's fine.
I've decided that I have found stuff in anime that I like, but that's about it. It's like that's it.
I'll set that up later.
Yeah, it's a pretty narrow tunnel.
I'm going to set that up later. I'm glad you admitted that, but I'm going to set that later. You just saved yourself a lot of pain because I was about to drop the fucking hammer down on you.
Well, I think realistically too, like that's kind of what's been fucking us on some of these lately, right? It's like, hey, obviously we're reaching out to people we know, we're reaching out to people we think are going to jump on, have some insight to give, and to our defense, it's obviously our friends that we're fucking getting to jump on. So our friends aren't just gonna come on and be like, except for one person, oh well, hey, this shit's fucking gay, it sucks, like da 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 da, whatever, right? Like they're trying to work with us a little bit. They're trying to give us something to go on, give us some content, give us some like some real fucking feelings, some real thoughts, and where they're coming at from it. Where obviously it's very hard, I think, especially too now in like the entire aspect of the social media cloud, where it's very like fucking I don't want to say clout driven, but just very like, hey, I'm going to attack certain areas, and this is obviously not a area that's attacked a lot.
And to piggyback on that before you say something, Pat, to that is like social media, right, is so meme driven, all of that. It's easy, and he brought it up in the one interview that we don't have because it was so horrible, but those classic tropes, right? Like, oh, you're gonna run with your hands behind your back, you're gonna power up screaming, you're gonna, what I mean?
Naruto
and look at the old smirk on your face. Like, I get it. I get where you're coming from. You know what I mean? I at first definitely was very much in that mindset of like, oh, look at this fucking shit. Is that I'm glad you smirked like that because I don't have to say the rest of it. Is that the turnoff for you? I know those are limited shows, but just in general, is it that culture? Because it's obviously, Japanese or Asian culture dominant, right? That's where the writing style and all the humor and everything that's coming from it. that's coming from there. And that's obviously, if you can see us in this video, and even if not Caucasian, that's not our culture. So I could definitely see why someone might not be like, is that the turnoff point for you?
No, I don't think so. It's just I have quite a few streaming services like Netflix and Prime and HBO Max, and right now it seems like they're all hitting with at least one good
He has
show.
3.
Yeah. What a dick. How many you got, Spencer? Why don't you shut your ass up? You got one. Crunchyroll. That's all you watch.
No, and I've got Funimation, and I've got Amazon Prime. And
you never watch Amazon Prime, so anyways, let's keep going.
It don't matter. I still got it, dude. I mean, the
just gotta
fuck,
defend
dude?
my boy Pat. Don't be over here jumping down his throat, with your two having ass.
What I was getting at is like they're all hitting with shows right now, and I can't seem to prioritize an anime show over these other shows that have real people in it.
It's a big ask. I mean, I'm going to jump right back in.
Side note, though.
Yeah.
I mean, what are the other shows?
Oh, yeah.
So Terminal List is one I just went back to on Amazon Prime.
Never heard of it.
On HBO Max, you got The Last of Us. It's a big show right now.
Talked about that one, yeah.
That's not like a binge show for sure. So it's like a weekly thing.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesdays, they just came out
like
with a
an
new
anime
season
show on a normal basis. Yeah. Weekly.
There are new ones. We'll bring that. Okay. Go ahead. What's the next one you're talking about?
Please.
The next one is The Mandalorian on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, Anthony been talking about that.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll give you that one. Yeah.
See, he'll give you that one because he's into the Star Wars and everything else he isn't. So he talks shit, and it's funny because the same parallel goes for you. Not that you're talking shit, but it's like, oh well, I got this. That's why I'm not going to watch anime. It's very much the flop. And the point I wanted to bring up to kind of culminate all of that is let's take anime, even though it's an anime show, guys. Don't worry, we're going to talk about plenty of it. Let's take that out of the equation. I bring to you a show that is well written. It's probably going to be more heavy in CGI because there's going to be powers and other shit. And you could pick any actors and actresses that you want. And you could put them in this show. I'm willing to bet that I can blind pick a couple scripts. Now I'm going to bring it back in. I'm going to blind pick a couple anime picks, a couple manuscripts. And I'm going to put those in, and not like, because everyone's like, oh, they already have that. What the fuck is it called? When they did Cowboy Bebop and it fucking tanked. What do they call when they make an anime into a TV? Live action. I'm not talking about doing like a live action. I'm talking about literally making a movie fucking production or a TV show production, right? That we all typically know and seen out of an anime. I bet you would like it. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, okay, well, let's break that down by the layer then. If it's not the script, if it's not, actually, to be fair, and if I correct me if I'm wrong, Pat, you're not a big Marvel guy in general, are you?
No, every Marvel movie that comes out, I go and I see it.
But it's like, are you like into that superhero, superpower aspect? Do you dig that?
At least in live action form. Well, actually, hold on.
Don't trip yourself up here, dude.
Like the DC stuff, I've never seen it. But back in the day,
most people don't. It usually sucks.
I was a big Batman kid. All of them, the cartoon version,
Batman,
George Clooney.
Yeah. Superman, Batman.
But I'm not a big Superman guy.
Yeah. Okay.
But Captain America, Wolverine, Deadpool, he's cool because there's some comic.
Oh, Deadpool's funny as fuck. It's great. Yeah.
Iron Man.
You're setting this up so beautifully for where I'm about to go. I love this. Keep going.
Who else? I mean, I remember seeing Fantastic Four, but I was never a big fan.
Okay.
Doctor Strange.
Jessica Alba, it sucked.
Yeah.
Banging.
Doctor Strange was sick.
Yeah. Super dope.
And then
so you like those fantasy aspects is the main point I'm trying to get to, or the superhero aspect, because they obviously had some crazy shit happen. We don't, unless the government wants to tell us something, we don't have fucking superpowers going around in a regular day world, right?
Right, but a lot of those guys were just regular day people.
Fair enough. So this show isn't necessarily there are regular day people. But in general, My Hero Academia is kind of what you're describing, at least in an anime term.
Right, and that's
what other
definitely one
show,
of the
Spencer?
more.
Hey, I saw the head nod there. What other show would you go? What I was gonna say, and before you go into it, is
fucking wire on
you're like, I was like, what the fuck?
I
got you.
Shit.
Get your wire set. Get my wire set, man. If I took My Hero Academia, which you have not watched, right? And I put that into live action or regular TV, I'd be willing to bet you like it, because at the point we're at now, it gets pretty savage. I can see the first season being a little more of a chore, and some of that stuff being not as badass. You know what I mean? But you get to a point where if that was live action, I'd be like, oh fuck. Like, so if that's what I'm trying to so we're on the point of, hey, if it's a cool theme, we'll call it, and it's live action, you like it. So what, Spencer, if you want to jump in, what's in it for the anime part? Do you want to elaborate on that? Like, that's, I think, where the hang up for a lot of people. For everyone that's listening, let us know in the comments, like, what are you thinking? Because I think that's the hang up. I want to figure out the hang up. I want to try to convince people it's cool.
What's the hang up for me?
Yeah, for you personally. I'm sure there's people listening that's the same for them.
So, I mean, it definitely falls back on like what other shows are going out there that I'm already invested in that are live action. Any of my main shows that I'm super pumped on are
going to take precedent over
anime.
That. Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
And you got a life, obviously, and so you got to time it up right.
So, I don't know. I think a lot of it also has to do that these live action shows that I'm finding kind of draw me in first episode, whereas these animes, it's not so much the case.
Kind of unfair though, right? Because most of these shows are an hour long, so
I would say most of my shows are like 40 minutes.
40 minutes. So it's a double anime show, and there are anime shows out there. There's a couple that I'm actually really fond of that have 40-minute intros because it's so in depth. But not to knock you, but at the same time, I felt last time that we left, you were a little bit disingenuous, because I feel like you like Lord of the Rings and you like that stuff and you like that fantasy, and I kind of bumped Spencer off of it. We talked about this. If you like those elements, there should be almost no reason for you to not like an anime. Yes, live action. Hey, I want to watch those first. Those are my shows. Okay. Well, if you're listening to the episodes, Spencer, what have we been telling people? What do they need to keep?
Open mind.
Open ears.
Fresh eyes, fresh ears is what you said.
Fresh
eyes. But Pat said it. You nailed it. And see, that's how I appreciate you listening. You got to keep an open mind. And I'm not saying you haven't. You've done us a great service. You have checked out stuff. We're going to get into that soon enough. But
you're on your way to number one.
You're on your way.
That's what you're doing right now.
You're climbing the ladder, dude, and we appreciate the fuck out of you. And we know it's not always, for us. It's easy. We like anime. We love anime. You know what I mean? So we'll watch it. Spencer's even better than me. You know what I mean? I just made a list the other day. I was texting him. I was like, damn, dude. I'm not even gonna say it right now because it'll be recorded and live, and I'll be ridiculed forever for it. But I made a list because Spencer is right. I watch a lot of shows and then kind of drop them and go watch other shit that I'm more into, and then forget about shit or come back. And that's probably why I'm really bad with character names. Which stay tuned for episodes coming up. We might have a little game for that. But the list is kind of long. Not like hell long, but long enough where I'm like, ooh.
I mean, it's hella
Spencer's
long.
Right.
Yeah.
Spencer's right. I need to start buttoning these fucking things up. But yeah, so I felt like, when you said, oh, well, this is like, I like this niche, and this is what would get me into watching episodes in anime, we focus so heavily on, okay, well, let's get the show that's going to be kind of what he's talking about from our perspective to get him into it. I almost think we fucked ourselves on that, Spencer. You know what? You can be what you're into, and I will recommend a show based off that to my best of my ability, but I'm also going to give you 2, maybe even 3 others that are, hey, these are fucking bangers. If you don't like this and you can't get into this, you you might not be able to get into anime, and that's something that me and Spencer are gonna have, more me than him probably, gonna have to accept. I'm like, that's the goal, right? We're trying to convince people, hey, Pat, why did you like it? Why did you not like it? All that. And I'm glad you corrected yourself. So I'm going to give you one more recommendation at the end of this, and you can put it in the comments on Instagram, or we'll probably have you back on another day, I'm sure. So we'll get to that. Spencer, anything you want to elaborate based on everything we've been saying? Any questions you want to get in before we start kind of talking about the ones we recommended and what we watched and all that?
Yeah,
Or he
no,
watched.
I'm glad. I'm glad to where we're at right now. Pat and I have gotten 3 minutes of airtime. I think a lot of where he's coming from is not an out of touch like thought, right? It's not an out of it is. It's hard to get in, and you're right, and I will agree with you to the point where it's like, hey, we try to recommend shit based off of kind of like what he said to what we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much more that we have not seen. There's so much more out there. Like people are like, I be on the Reddit and shit, and people are like, oh, this show, this show, this show, this show. Never even fucking heard of them before. Never even fucking seen them before, right? And then so it's like I'm constantly being updated and like kind of refreshed on shit, and like, oh fuck, dude, maybe I gotta check this shit out. Maybe I gotta fucking look into this shit, right? I mean, even you go back to the streaming services, right? It's like, Hulu's got their own shit. Fucking,
Mm-hmm.
what's it, Tubi or Tubi, whatever the fuck they got shit now, right? Like some of the better shit that is coming out now that people want to see is on that service. And fuck, I almost started the 7-day free fucking trial the other day. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna watch this fucking Imminent Shadow fucking show. Yeah, you were talking about. I'm like, oh, this does kind of look fucking badass, right?
Yeah.
I think really curtailing to somebody specific like preferences is not necessarily the way to go. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
case in point, right? Like what we were talking about last year, like, a couple weeks ago, oh, fucking spider. So what? I'm a spider. So, whatever. This shit fucking bangs, right? I'm like, shit's
Nah.
gay, dude. This is the fucking weakest shit I've fucking ever seen, right? And the past fucking 4 days, I just finished it, right? And it's like, I mean, I wouldn't say it bangs, but like, it was solid. It definitely had moments where I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I can definitely see where he came out with this thought, why he appropriated it to like, hey, it was similar to this show, was similar to that show, da 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 da, right? Like that's all we are as fucking
Mm-hmm.
people, right? Is like we try to relate things as best we can to other shit we fucking know. And if there's nothing out there that you can relate it to, well, fuck, you're at that point you're almost shit out of luck, right? Like you try to get into somebody, like case in point, the episode we didn't air, right? The one not to be talked about. It was like, hey, this motherfucker never even like gave it a shot, wanted to be a part of it, thought it was worth a shit, right? And then so obviously we're going in and it's like you're trying to fucking you're trying to turn literally water into wine. Like it's not that fucking easy. You know what I mean? Like everybody out here is not Jesus. We can't just like, oh,
If you
boom.
let your hair
You had
down
me
right now,
confused.
bro,
Yeah. I'm thinking the same thing.
But I mean, even too, like that
It's a
point,
fair
like
point.
it's hard to make that differentiating factor between, hey, this is where you're at. You're stuck in these fucking war movies, hella hardcore, like, gore, blood, like violence and shit, right? And then you get all the way over to like, some of the fucking like isekai shit I've been watching lately is like the fucking light years away from some of the other shit, like the dark ass shit we watch, right? And like
Mm-hmm.
I, you know, I don't know how you would phrase it other way, like I'm all about fucking metal, rock, like hard rock and shit, but it's like you can't be metal, rock, hard rock like 100% of the time, right? Like there's other things that you're into, and if you try to say
I see what you're
no,
doing. Good point.
you're fake on that. You know what I mean? So it's like if you can't get into other aspects of shows, other aspects of like even me, like, you know, I'm like, oh no, I'm fucking anime, dude. I don't have all this other bullshit, right? But it's like you know, when I got on your fucking Netflix, I watched what, like
Mm-hmm.
4 other
Yeah.
Netflix shows that were like, oh shit, this just kind of caught my interest, and I thought it was dope, and I fucking binged the shit out of those, you know, those shows. So I think it's definitely where you're coming from at it from a perspective of how open you are to it, as well as how it kind of hits you and you like relate to it.
Right. So like what Crunchyroll, I know you guys hate on their algorithm and their search bars and all
Their
that, but
UI sucks dick, dude. It's
That's
garbage.
not
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
so what I started doing was I searched Cowboy Bebop, and then they have a feature that says more like this.
Which is
And
cool.
then
That's a new
so
feature
I
they added that we
select that.
do
So I'm like,
like.
okay,
Mhm.
maybe I can find something that I like
Based off of
based
that.
on previous shows that I enjoy.
Smart idea.
Unfortunately, it led me to shows that I've already watched and found on my own through Funimation,
Mm-hmm.
or that they secretly, said, "Hey,
I
by the way,
see
this
some
is
of the
over
stuff here.
here."
It looks like you must try to watch a movie. You watched a piece
Uh,
of it.
which one?
Robot
Blade
Carnival.
Runner, Black Lotus? Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
Robot
So
Carnival.
that was the other thing, is I noticed that I like some of the older animation styles because I felt
I
like
saw
it
that.
brought a bit of nostalgicness,
He likes
Uh,
kind of detectives. He likes that. Yu Yu Hakusho. Something to think about. Continue.
so those were kind of things I started to explore. Now, my watch list is definitely longer than shows that I watched since the last time I was on, but work in progress, baby.
Yeah, I could say that. So for those that are listening and maybe not watching, he has my Crunchyroll, so I can see everything he's watching. So I've been spying the whole time, and
It's like
I'm
Big
impressed that
Brother,
you tried. I'm impressed you tried so many. To be honest, I have it here and I'm looking at it right now. The Blade Runner Black Lotus one seems like it'd be kind of hard to get into. It doesn't look almost like anime. It almost looks like a video game. At least when I look at the
Yeah.
picture, I have not clicked on it and watched it.
The couple
Yeah,
minutes that I did watch
I see
were
that. Yeah,
definitely more video game-ish than anime,
than actual
and
anime.
I think it kind of turned me off.
Oh, it would have turned me off too. So tell us a little bit. I'm kind of curious about this Robot Carnival. You know, what I mean, it is. I kind of recognize the style of it. I don't know if you want to try to pull it up, Spencer, and look at the art style to kind of see for yourself. But it's kind of similar to another show that me and you were talking about the other day, Spencer. That I'm going to try to convince you to like. It's that old school kind of art. So
Me?
it
You
look.
convinced me to like,
Yeah, remember I didn't
or
mention
Pat to
Demon
like?
School. No, Demon School Irakuma. Just that old style. I think Yu Yu Hakusho, Demon School Irakuma, this Robot Carnival that he watched. They all have that. I don't know what to call it. We talked about it before, how to quantify styles and shit. It's
Yeah, well,
it's
1987, I'll definitely give you it.
yeah, but I
So
don't. When did Robot Carnival come out, Pat? Do you know?
1987 or 84.
Oh, is that what he said? Oh, I thought you said Yu Yu Hakusho. My bad. I thought you said Yu Yu Hakusho. My bad. When did Yu Yu Hakusho come out? Because Demon School Irakuma is 2000 and like it's recent, so they're just playing to that old school style. Can you remember? Fucking don't do that to your head if you can't remember. It's
fucking
like one of your
remember
favorite shows, dude.
1992. One of my favorite shows that I watched fucking one time, fucking
All the way
12 years
through.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sitting through
all the way
it.
through.
Yeah.
I'm not a
12
sorry
years
ass
ago?
quitter, dude.
I never quit on that show. I watched it all the way through after I eventually watched it.
Eventually, yeah, it was like Bleach, dude. We had to fucking drag you
No, it wasn't
along.
like Bleach. No.
We had to drag you past the finish
You had
line.
to drag
Come on,
me
dude.
to.
You can do it. You
You had to
got this, bro.
drag me to watch it, not to finish it, to watch it. There's a difference there. I'll give you the Bleach though. You just dragged me across the finish line, and I'm pissed as fuck because that ending of that show sucks dick. So fuck you, Bleach. I don't care. All you people out there listening, if you're an anime fan, you like Bleach, sucks. Mid. Ichiko? Ichiko? That's his name, right? Yeah. See, I got one. He can suck my dick. Anyways, so Pat, Robot Carnival 1987. What stuck out about that art style for you? What was, what kind of got you interested?
Again, I think it kind of was based on the fact that it was from an era where I knew the animation was going to be older style, because I
Okay.
was kind of thinking that's what I liked, and I definitely liked the animation. But
because I could see you didn't finish it.
yeah, it seems like it's different storylines, and they kind of just mash them together.
Oh, like a bunch of skits.
Yeah.
Huh. I've never seen it. I was kind of interested when it was up on my feed.
And
I was like, what the fuck
I think
is this?
I saw a comment under there that said, "This is the reason I got into anime," and I was like, "Well, you know, I'm trying to find a reason to get into anime. Let's check it out."
Well, whoever you are in the comments on Crunchyroll that said that, thanks for ruining it for my friend, because clearly you don't know your fucking anime, dumbass. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So you didn't really enjoy it though, right?
No, I mean, the other thing was like both of the skits that I saw. The first skit, like the characters were just speaking a different language. It says dubbed in the section on Crunchyroll. I see that.
Yeah.
But when you go to watch it, it's just like, it's gibberish. And then the second skit,
it's probably
the guy
like they're
doesn't
not even
even
talking.
talk.
Yeah,
the guy doesn't.
They're
even talk.
doing a Charlie Brown, and you know what I mean, when the parents talk. Wah, 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 wah.
So I was just like,
okay.
Am I supposed to be following something here?
Yeah. I mean, right, Spencer? I mean, dude, have you said you're looking at it? Doesn't catch my attention personally.
But I'm also into that like post-apocalyptic type stuff, and I think that might be what I searched. And if I remember correctly, you guys referenced Attack on Titan to post-apocalyptic, so it's
absolutely.
I probably will be adding that to my watch list here pretty quick.
Dylan's way ahead of you, dude. 12 episodes deep at least, dude.
Yeah, and I'll probably prioritize that in my watch list here.
So what would make you prioritize that this time over last time?
Probably because the anime style, I've seen the anime style before, and it's not like too new, it's not too old, and I'm just gonna have to like get over the creepy ass giant face people. You know?
They are a little
right?
A little wild. Yeah, they'll be like, hey,
it's
running
like
around and shit.
You're creepy as shit.
Okay, so you're scared, is what you're saying, of the Titans. It's okay, I get it. I'd be scared too.
Yeah, big time.
Spencer, what do you got for this guy? What do you listening there? You're not saying nothing, dude. I don't want to cut you out for 3 minutes of airtime again. God forbid. So
no, 13. It was just I was just trying to let him have a chance to go over what we're talking about, where we're at with everything. So
I think we need to kind of come back to Copcraft, though.
I was just about to bring that up, but I didn't want to keep talking and not have Spencer talk because I need to accuse me of
I just cut Spencer's screen time.
I know. Give him the talking stick back, please.
It's okay. It's okay for you, dude. You haven't had much yet. I mean, we're both probably about like a tenth in of what we have spoken here. But yeah, I mean, if we want to talk about what I'm glad you remembered one of them, right? So Copcraft. So you did attempt to watch from.
I gave you your 3 episodes, bro. I gave you 3.
Oh, 3 of them. Confirmation.
Let's take a look.
Confirmation on that.
He did.
Okay.
Confirmation.
Okay.
3 episodes, 3 minutes left, which is probably the ending credits on.
And that's all. That's all we're fucking asking for. If at that point in time you're not feeling it, you're not into it, I'd say
we need to revise
I'd
that.
say
5 episodes.
8.
I watched 5.
He watched 5.
No. Sorry, I said we need to revise that because the 3 episodes clearly not getting it done.
Well, I mean that's kind of a like I'm even at that point where it's just like, hey, that I said that because that was kind of my threshold. Like if after 3 I'm not fucking into it, I gave you your Mob fucking Psycho 3. Actually, I did give it 5. I think I got to 6 or something.
I enjoy that one, dude.
I gave you your JoJo like fucking 4.
Oh, you did
6,
not give that a fair shake. You did not give that a fair shake. You're a bitch,
dude. I gave it all the fucking. I gave it the episodes.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is huge, dude. It's on Netflix. It's on Crunchyroll. Everyone fucking talks about that.
Chill your shit out, dude. But so you gave it its fair shakedown, and from what you had explained, right? You were into kind of the detective shit, the you know,
Real world.
yeah, you know, and what about it turned you off? Why did you not necessarily get into it?
Sure.
Oh,
I
look at
already
him
know the
smirking.
scene, bro. Just them going to the fairy world. You go through this little fucking mist out in the middle of the ocean. It's just a
Oh,
bunch of
my.
fucking fairies floating around in their wings. and they got some
Yeah, for like the
shit.
fucking minute and a half.
You're just like, all right, cool. I'm out.
So what about keeping an open mind?
I told you right out the gate, bro. I told you right out the gate. I was like, fairies ain't for me. And
There's so much more
that's why I
savage
didn't-
shit after that you didn't even
that's
allow
why I didn't
yourself to
watch.
get to.
I didn't watch Fairy Gone because I was like, nah, fairies in the name. It ain't for me.
So you got some
Those
against
are fairies
fairies.
you could
Oh,
get
okay.
behind. Though.
Those are
that's
definitely,
not
yeah.
like your.
Dude.
That's like your fairies that are like, hey, the fucking paranormal fucking horde people things that you think are like super scary. They're super scary because they've been like infected by fairies. All fairies aren't fucking. Have you ever gone to some
Pixie
trippy
dust and
ass fucking some
farts,
trippy
huh?
ass smoke shop where it's like they got that dark fucking area, dude. And it's like you gotta go
Incense
through
are
like
burning.
you gotta go through like the fucking you open up the fucking thing, right? You know, there's like a fucking tray, a waterfall like going
Yeah, the
on
porn
What do
inside
they call
there,
those?
dude.
Torah cards or tarot cards? What the fuck do they call
Yeah,
that?
tarot
cards
Tarot,
and Ouija
tarot. There
boards
you
and-
go.
And then it's just like,
Do you
yo,
want a
all of a
palm
sudden
reading?
you look to the right and there's like a big ass fucking ugly fucking dwarf troll looking thing, right? Like yeah, that's part of fucking fairies, dude.
turn over.
There's the
Yeah.
dark side, right? You ever seen the fucking crystal? Fuck, I forget. It's old school, dude. It was like it was still puppet time, animation. Fuck, I can't
Puppet?
recall what
Kids
it is
in the
right
house.
now. But it was just like it was creepy. It was Pan's Labyrinth before Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, a good example. Dude, you read my fucking mind, dude. I was literally thinking in my head, I don't want to come off. I don't want to come off. But Pan's Labyrinth, that's a good one. That's creepy and fucking weird.
But that's what it is. It's like that kind of fantasy aspect, but the darker side of things, where it's like you don't want to fuck with
great
it. You're not
example.
trying to like get down into it.
That's Fairy
I'm
Gone.
not saying that's that's not copyright. That's Fairy Gone. Fairy Gone is more like, and I mean like you got they try to it's not. I'm blanking on the time period a little bit. It's not quite like Golden Kamuy time period. It's like I think it predates it a little bit, but it's like
He's talking about Fairy
muskets and
Gone.
Yeah, that's what
muskets and
Well, obviously,
fucking
obviously, you watch Copcraft. My bad.
yeah.
So-
Fairy Gone's different though, but I mean like, I did you watch 3 episodes of Fairy Gone?
No.
You were like, oh, Fairy,
He
fuck
didn't keep
this
an open
shit.
mind. He didn't have fresh eyes,
Yeah.
fresh ears, dude.
I think if you gave that one a 3 episode shot by episode 2, you'd be like, oh shit, I'm an idiot. Like, I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. So like that, the Copcraft one, I was into the cop aspects, trying to like figure out who was smuggling these fairies in, and then as soon as the
fairies
the,
started floating
high
around.
Priestess, the high priestess guard or whatever came over to work with the the cop, and it was just
the dynamic.
She's a piece of work. Yeah, I know for sure. But you're married. You understand. Like, you know, you gotta like, you know, get
my
beyond
wife
that.
is gonna love that one.
Yeah,
Listen to
there's
the
no
last one I
cutouts
was
to
on,
this show. There's no cutouts either, so that's staying in.
So, yeah.
Well, you said you had some. What other stuff you got down there? Pop us off with it. You had a question down there for us.
Yeah. So this one's kind of a heavy question. I don't know if you want to save it for the end.
Okay. Did you only have the one?
We'll put it to you. We'll put it to you, produce.
You have 2,
you know, like,
so yeah,
you
keep
let
the
us
heavy
know.
one for. Yeah, I mean, you tell us which one you want to.
Oh, you mean you only have 2 questions?
Yeah, I have 2 questions for you guys.
Oh,
we
that's
already
it?
kind of touched on one, or at least I did. And it's like, do either of you have a banging live action show that you like right now?
When you say live action, like referenced off of an anime, or just because when we're saying you're just saying regular TV show. Oh yeah,
like Mandalorian or Game of Thrones,
Carnival Row.
Oh,
Carnival Row.
Okay.
Yeah, I call them normal people shows.
But
Is
funny you
what I
say that.
call 'em,
Carnival
yeah.
Row has that fantasy aspect, and they have
Yeah, I know.
fairies in it.
It's got
But
fairies
the
and shit.
fairies
I've
are,
seen
are,
it.
are are taking dudes up and fucking them with their tits out and fucking like hanging up and shit up in the midair. So that might be a little more wild. And Spencer, look at his eyes get wide. He's like, Carnival Row. Let me type this.
So my
It's a great
question
show, though,
is,
action-wise.
you take that banging show, which is
Mhm.
it a binge show or is it
Yeah.
weekly
I mean, it
release?
comes out. It's weekly this second season right now. I'm not up to
Okay.
date with it, but yeah. Orlando Bloom, shout out.
Answer it
You do
honestly.
great.
You get
Uh-huh.
you get that show that comes out on whatever day, and you
Uh-huh.
got another banging show that you're excited about on Crunchyroll.
Anime. I could answer the
Anime.
question.
Okay.
Done. One, because
So
but see, that's kind of unfair because me and Spencer have put 10 years into this, like consistently, and One Piece, Attack on Titan, Reincarnated as a
right.
Slime, over Fire Force, My
Well,
Hero Academia. Like those shows
eliminate
shit on
those
Carnival
big
Row. I
shows.
love on it, but it's different though. It's a different mood.
I would ask you to eliminate those big time shows like One Piece and stuff, like the new ones that are coming out in winter season. Find one that you've seen maybe one
I'll answer
season of
again, but
before. You're
Spencer,
not fully invested in like you are One Piece.
yeah. That's a good question. That's a good question. Okay, Spencer, you answer and I'll rebut what you said right there. What do you think, Spencer?
I mean, it's a lot harder for me. Like I said, I call those normal people shows. I don't watch a lot of those. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not hip on the fucking current shows and
Can you
shit,
say that
right?
again? You're not hip?
Like I watch, yeah, I watch a lot of the recurrent shows. I watch, like that's why I'm into a lot of the newer shows when they come out, and I get Jason on them, and it's like,
He
hey,
does. Does a good
check
job.
this shit out, dude. This one was good. This one was this one was banging.
Banging. We
Um,
do say that a lot.
Yeah.
I think outside of most recently, probably the only one that was worth the shit that I watched, Rings of Power.
Oh, there you go. Good example.
So take a season of Rings of
That
Power.
fucking Viking one off of Netflix that I watched.
Yeah.
Which one,
Mhm.
Valhalla or Lost Kingdom?
Lost Kingdom's dope.
I think it was the Valhalla one. I watched it on Jason's Netflix, and then what was it 1976 or 1876 or some shit?
1889, the ship one where they're on the ship and
one.
everything.
Yeah.
1889, I
That
believe.
was the most recent one that I watched, and I just watched it a few months ago.
So of all those shows,
I mean, I liked it. It was good. Like
I think we should
I fucking
reference
binge that shit in like 3 days, 2 days.
Ring
some
of
shit.
Power. Like take the whole season of Ring of Power.
Okay.
And a whole season of something new from your winter 2023. And they're both, let's say they're both new.
Yeah.
Where are you
Rings
going?
of Power.
Okay. I mean that's an unfair advantage from the point of where you're coming from, Pat. Like that's
It has Lord of the Rings. It has The Hobbit. It has all the books.
That has a lot of like different stuff that goes in it. This is stuff that we've been watching since we were children.
If it was brand new, we've never seen it before. You have a fair point there.
Hey, guess what I watched before all of those? The animated version of The Hobbit.
Right. Yeah.
Have you ever seen that, Pat?
I've seen like little snippets. I can't say that I've seen it.
Okay, that one's actually kind of worth a watch, to be honest.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good one. It almost adds them all up, like Lord of the Rings and Hobbit, into one, into a fucking like 2.5 hour animated movie that is fucking fire.
I like what you did there, though. I see where you're coming from, but like Spencer said, right? It's like let's keep it on par. Let's keep it on the level. So like I'm saying,
it's hard to equate it to. It's like that's like if I was to say like what was some new fucking TV show that was supposed to be fucking like super good that just came
Succession.
out that crashed.
I think crashed. Succession's really good. Sorry, yeah.
Well, it didn't necessarily crash, but wasn't like like hey, this doesn't measure up to other greats.
Yeah,
Black Sails, dude. Remember how they ended that shit? And Alex, I got to watch it, and they fucked that shit up. You know what I mean?
They fucked the end of that last season up for sure, right? And I can say the same, like fucking
Bleach.
yeah. I mean, great point in case right there, right? You know, and it's like even now you have fucking apparently Naruto just got greenlit for like another 8 fucking new episodes. You
Yeah,
know,
4. I think it said 4 before 8. Yeah, and
like
Boruto's ending.
Naruto. You know, like
Hmm.
well, Boruto's not ending. It's a fucking. They're
Oh,
still
they're ending this part and starting a new phase of it, right?
right. It's the
Yes.
next
Okay.
arc. It's the next like you know like One Piece. Hey, we're moving on to
Yeah,
the next
but
fucking
not
thing.
like One Piece in the sense of they just continue the episodes, right? It's like it was Naruto Shippuden. This is gonna be
Hmm.
Boruto, whatever the fuck they call it, right?
Yeah,
They are the
like
same universe
same
and
thing.
timeline and same
He's
thing,
going
everything.
from being little young Naruto in academy
We're getting
school
way off
to
point here. We can talk about this later.
yeah,
Pat doesn't give a shit about this.
yeah.
Yeah, not at all.
Uh,
But yeah, no, I understand. That's a fair response to my unfair question, I guess.
okay. No, we appreciate you asking the question. I like
Well,
that.
and then beyond that, I think it's hard too. Like what a lot of people do, like I think what a lot of people like res- I wouldn't say respect. Respect's probably the wrong word, but like can appreciate about an anime show is that it takes you outside of the realm of
Everyday life.
like
That's
you
for me
know
at least.
yeah
Imagination. Takes me into my
every day
imagination.
it
Into a
brings
dream
you to the
world.
imagination. It
Yeah.
takes
Hmm.
you outside of the reality that is this is that is this. You know,
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's like, hey, fuck you, dude. I can be fucking 1.5. I can be 1.25. Whatever the fuck I want to be, right? You know, it's
Yeah.
just like you
I could
have
be a
such
slime.
a bigger realm of possibility of what can happen, and it's not hampered by any specific rule, any specific subset of, hey, you don't fit in this genre. You don't fit in this genre. I can be whatever the fuck I want to be, right? Yeah,
Right.
I want to be like the Spider Show, like the what got me early on, right? It was like, oh, okay, hey, his you know in real life, this dude, there's three dude best
Oh
friends.
yeah.
All of a sudden they come in the world and it's like one dude best friend becomes a hero, other dude best friend becomes this fucking piece of shit, third dude best friend's a fucking little sexy ass bitch. Like what? Oh, I'm sexy ass bitch, dude. Like no, I was a man. I'm a man. Like I'm a man. And you're like,
What's happening to me?
Yeah.
it's like, and then so all of the other dudes are like, hey, what's up? What's up, girl? Like, yeah, you're like,
Yep.
okay. I mean, no. Like, well, and it's just like, it's this weird, this weird dynamic that you have to play throughout all these different things where it's just like, hey, that's not always case in point, right? You're able to kind of escape. I think that's why, even though critics fucking railed Rings of Power, Rings of Power was cool because it finally gave other people who couldn't necessarily like identify and connect with all these other shit in the originals. Hey, I kind of feel like this guy. I like this bitch. I'm
Hmm.
about where this is at, right? Like I like how this story kind of contradicts, what may or may not have been told before.
Right. Yeah. So
Well, before you say
I
so
get
and
it.
go anything
Yeah.
else. Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to ask the next question. I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. What
No,
were you
no,
going to
no.
say?
I was going to touch on the other shows that I've watched
I was just going to bring that
based
up.
on
Initial
my
D was what I was curious
yeah.
about.
So Initial D, I like the live action version of it. I'm a car guy,
Hmm.
um, and I went into it with really high hopes.
Do you want to shout out your
Uh,
channel real quick, dude? You want people to go on to Instagram and check out those cars? You know what I'm talking about. Come on.
oh yeah, if you guys are into like collecting things, or if you like diecast cars, you can go to where is it? Diecast California. I
What
take
is it? It's your
pictures.
shit.
Yeah. Or no,
You
sorry,
tell us.
it's California Diecast.
There you go.
So on there,
Instagram, follow them.
yeah, I take pictures of like small little
It's
1/64
pretty cool.
Hot Wheels,
Yeah.
and I have
So you're a
diagrams
car
Learning
guy.
and stuff.
user of
Check them out.
California.
He uses that for all of his shit, dude. You see his Discord name too? It's like California Shooter, dude. I'm like,
Yeah,
Jesus, dude.
yeah.
Bang
Um,
bang.
Somebody's got to have some
Bang
pride in
bang
the state. You know?
Niner gang. Anyways, you're a car guy, so I just wanted to bring that up because you do really enjoy it.
What ended up like the animation for the cars was like so much different than the animation for the people, and it didn't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing that like I really started to harp on was it just felt like a teen movie. You know, it was brutal.
Oh, we lost Spencer on the camera. Dang, dude. No, I'm with you, and that's kind of where I did the same thing. For everyone that's listening, I checked out 3 episodes. We talked about it a little bit, right? And same thing. Like when they did like the shifting and all that, that looked fine, you know what I mean? But as soon as you got to the outside angle and you saw the car, I was like, this is bad, bro. Like there's no fucking way I'm watching this. And then you're right. I saw the characters, and from that aspect, I'm actually kind of more into those shows. Might be because what I do for work. You know what I mean? Like I can understand that dynamic. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, and I started the first couple episodes. And I'm getting kind of into it, and I'm like, like it's again like compared to those other live action shows, it's probably further down my list. But Outer Banks on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I've watched it.
Yeah,
Brittany and I have finished it.
Yeah, pretty good, right? It's cool, but that's a teenage story too. You know what I mean? So it's like, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like, but if you liked Outer Banks and it's a teenage story, you get what the constant theme I'm coming back to here. It's like, well, you like the live action version of what you're saying, but I'm with you. Initial D's tough. It's a tough fucking watch.
But I probably will continue with it just because it is a cult classic, and there's too many people out there that say Initial D, at least in the car culture.
No, they do. Yeah,
you know, they're
peer
like
pressure.
You got to watch it. It's just a part of.
And there's a lot of seasons. I told you it goes up until like there's like hiatuses, and then it goes like next season's like 2000, then 2010, whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you stick with it, let us know. I'm interested.
And then another one that I found on my own, which is certainly out of my realm, is The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel, Northern War.
Yeah, Spencer watched 3. I haven't started it, so what do you know?
So the first episode, long as shit. I think it's like 46 minutes or something like that.
Okay, so it is one of those 40-minute ones. I thought you liked shows like that. Oh no, you said that's your threshold to get into it. My bad. Continue.
Yeah, like 40 minutes. My shows are like 40 minutes usually.
Okay.
God forbid it's 6 extra.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, also Jason can attest to this. For some reason or another, like, this is really going to sound bad on my character, I guess. Like female lead characters.
Oh my God, he always says this.
It's just like a turnoff for me almost immediately.
When the new Star Wars came out, he's like, female? Nope. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Rogue One is probably one of my top favorite Star Wars.
Okay. And that has that too. Yeah. So but it has like an element of like a guy and a girl at the same time. It's like almost like a co-lead. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I think the biggest thing for, that comment was like a lot of the shows that were coming out there were just remakes of cult classics.
Oh yeah, that was 100%. Yeah. Like do Ghostbusters with all females. It's like Ghostbusters are already great.
Yeah.
I mean? Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Ren's sick, Star Wars again.
Yeah.
And they did it well. So I am going to continue with this show here. I liked it.
So it's a female lead protagonist?
Yeah, for Legend of Heroes, it's a female lead so far. And then
Spencer, I haven't watched it. What do you think? Oh, sorry. Pat, my bad, Pat. Go ahead.
Her supporting cast around here is like
I've seen the picture.
All males.
All males.
But it's like an army that's fighting off monsters that are coming up and attacking villagers and whatnot. And
okay.
It's been cool.
Spencer, elaborate on. Oh, so you are enjoying it. I thought you were going to lead. I thought you were leading all of this to say that you don't like female, that's why you didn't get into it. Oh, okay, cool.
At first, I was just like, I don't know if I can do this
because based off of previous experiences. I got you.
I think the first episode and a half is very like generic, like, oh my god, like she's in this such a bad situation and she has no choice, and then she
Similar
rises up and
story.
be this
Okay.
fucking like, I
Linear.
had, Dad, don't worry, I'll do it. I'll protect our honor, right? You don't have a son, and like, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So
other things
Yeah.
that are involved in it, but like, yeah, it breaks out into a different beginning than what you may initially establish it as. But that, I mean, fuck, you could say the same thing with Decadence, right? Like Decadence was fucking pretty much like,
That was
I
a
wouldn't
tough one at
say
first.
like
When you
half
started
and
me, I was like,
half,
ugh.
like I didn't
Yeah.
think so. I was in it from the get. I was like, yo, this shit's
The
fucking
aspect was cool, but
like
once I saw that,
rich.
the other version, I was like,
Once they switch
oh
from like
yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
the
I guess that's
human
further along
anime
in. My
version to
bad, my
like,
bad, my
yeah.
bad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you're right. I was hooked right away, but once they
But
switched.
even still, beyond that, I was like, okay, cool. Because I immediately recognized it and portrayed it as, oh shit, like that's why I told you when like this is a fucking this is an anime Matrix, like that's what
Mm-hmm.
it is, right?
Yeah, that was what you
And like
said.
I think a lot of before you can get to that thought process with certain shows, it's like you got to be outside the realm of what that show is, right? Like, and not to be super like fucking existential and like fucking you got to be thinking, outside the box, but it's like, you know, hey, you made it abundantly clear you hate implied fucking statements,
I
right?
do. I
In
fucking
anime
hate it.
shows, a lot of things are implied, and implied things don't necessarily mean like, hey, you're fucking stupid, you didn't figure this shit out. It's like, hey, this is the hidden meaning in between all of
I
these
saw the
other
hidden meaning of
things
what you were saying. Uh-huh.
that are going on. Well, I didn't try to hide it, so I'm glad you
Uh,
found it. But
was that
it's
implied?
like you're trying to find things outside of what is easily like, hey, I'm showing you X, Y, and Z. But guess what? I don't mean ABC. I mean fucking,
one,
eh,
two,
you
three.
know, yeah, like some other fucking aspect of
Right.
where it can take you, right? So I think from that standpoint, it's a lot. It's
Yeah.
really how you take it.
Yeah, and I think the reason why I'm willing to give it uh, more is because I also like the anime movie or sorry, it's not anime movie, but it's a live action based on the anime series Ghost
Hmm.
in the Shell Arise, which is a female.
Shut
Uh,
up! You just like Scarlett Johansson, dude. You
bro,
just
yeah.
fucking
I
like.
mean, it was a great movie, but I've also went out and found a couple episodes on Netflix, and then I see that Crunchyroll has more. So
Mm. So you're finding some stuff. You're giving stuff a shot. We do appreciate that. You are keeping more of an open mind about it. I'm a little surprised. I thought you were gonna, based on what I'm seeing. I was like, oh, he watched. I was telling him, I was like, telling Spencer, I was like, he watched one episode and he's fucking done with this shit. But it makes more sense now. I mean, obviously you have your life and you're a fairly busy guy, and then you have your regular TV shows you'd rather watch. So it's kind of like limited time on when you're getting it in. So that makes more sense. You're trying to find what you liked, and so you think the Legend of Heroes is kind of cool. Okay. I mean, I have you said you're gonna put Attack on Titan on your list. Great idea. I mean, anyone listening right now, you're out there, you're kind of curious. This conversation's making you a little more curious. Like, oh, maybe I'll be like Pat. I'm gonna try out some anime. Keep an open mind. I'll be like Spencer. Fresh ears, fresh eyes. Attack on Titan's a great starting point. You know what I mean? If you're an adult and you want to get into something, it's a good starting point, I think. We recommend it heavily, right, Spencer, to pretty much everyone we talk to.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter if your fucking kids watch it right now. They won't know what the fuck's going on. They don't understand, dude.
yeah, and
Well,
then
like,
But I
oh,
have
there's a
one or
bunch of
two
catch
more.
up.
I'll be adding Doctor Stone to the list.
Banger.
Banger. But I have one or two more I think you would get into. Ones I'm trying to get him into right now that I was just talking about with him last night. Correct me if I'm wrong. Samurai style, that kind of stuff, like almost like a Kill Bill-ish vibe. Like, down with it?
Kill Bill, not so much, but
Okay, so
like
maybe not then. Okay.
the Badlands with Daniel Wu.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you got me to watch. Yeah. Okay, so I got one show. Spencer, do you have anything in the back of your mind? And then you're gonna ask your last question, and then we'll be pretty close to time here.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's thinking. He's meditating on it.
Did we lose him again? Is he frozen?
No. He's got a catalog, dude. Imagine going through 500 shows through your fucking head right now, trying to pick one out. He's like Dumbledore. He's got to like take the fucking strain out. I gotta save this one for later.
Trying to take your 13 minutes of screen time, bro. He's trying to take it away.
Oh, it's not the screen.
I
already took it all.
My little aspect in my little part. Shit, you know. I mean, I think I hate to, you know, to be, you know, like so recent into what we are watching recently, but fuck, what is it? The Stranger and the fucking, what's the Beast one, dude? I don't even have my shit pulled up right now. So
the Sacred Beast or something like that.
The Abandoned Sacred Beast, I think, is what it is.
We'll give you the title after for sure.
And like it is.
It's cool.
It's it's been hard to get through.
It's dark.
Not from the standpoint of like it's good. Like it's badass. It has moments where like a lot of it predominantly like blood, gore, shit. You're like, fuck, dude, this is like this is a topic not heavily touched from the standpoint of like, you know, you could almost equate this back to, I'd say, World War II, Nazis won. Right, you know, and you have these
like
people,
Man in the High Castle.
Yeah, actually, like very Man in the High Castle. That was probably the first Amazon show that I watched. But like from the standpoint of the people who then are victorious, right? You know, have this horrific shit happen to them. You're not necessarily really expecting it, and then it happens, and then you have somebody who is then going on this quest to essentially save them all from themselves, right? And then, I mean, I'm only like 6 episodes in, but it's like fucking, and I started watching it like a month ago, but it's like, dude, after you watch 2 episodes, you're just like, fuck, dude, like
you're sad.
That shit's tough to watch. Like it almost takes like a fucking toll out of you. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Like
yeah, sorry, I thought you were done there, dude. I have a bad habit of that. I was gonna have you elaborate with me though, Spencer, because you know the show better than I do.
So, anyways, I was like, you know, no, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's okay. I could pause. Based on old school, fuck you, bitch. Based on old school, based on detective kind of thing, Yu Yu Hakusho. Spencer got me into it. I was really resistant at first. Bang, double A certified
you like the old
banger.
Style? You like the old style? That is what created the old style.
Yeah, like, I mean, I like Trigun, the original Trigun.
I know. I was talking shit about that stupid new one earlier.
Stampede.
It was a little weird for me.
I'm like, why did they even fucking make a fucking sequel? They didn't need a sequel. They ended the first one just fucking fine.
Dang, guess we're gonna go over the time a little bit, dude. He's got this question, dude. I'm not trying to cut him off here. All right. So, well, ask the question.
You want to get to it now?
Yeah. Get to it.
All right.
We give you our recommendations.
So, like you guys say, you're trying to blur the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know if there's a line on the other side of your line where you draw the line in the sand, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Like,
no.
Is Comic-Con too much for you?
No.
Well,
would you guys go to Comic-Con?
That's a different line. That's a different line.
Is it?
I mean, it's like, what line are we talking about?
It's the culture of
line
anime,
about,
right?
well, hey, we're watching anime. We're blurring the line.
We're not joining the culture.
Anime is an animated version of that show. Am I out here saying, hey, I don't appreciate motherfuckers that go to like Comic-Con and do all that shit and are about that shit? No. Not at all. I would certainly, in some aspect, if it was convenient, it was easy enough, certainly do it. Hands down, no problem with that. Get along with everybody who was there, fine. Would be fucking stoked up, be a super geeked up fan. Like, yo, take a picture with me. Oh, look at this motherfucker, right? Like, no question, right? Am I gonna be the person who's facilitating all that, or who is hey, this is wrong, like you're a fucking loser, you shouldn't do this, no, fucking no way.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting at that at all. I'm just like, The stigma is anime is
Where
nerdy or not mature for
Is that
people
your
of our age.
stigma or is that the stigma? Because we know that's the stigma. What's your
I would
stigma?
say that's the stigma. I mean, I'm open
Not for
enough
us.
to.
You are open.
I'm open
I'm
enough
just saying.
to
I'm just
watch
trying to be
and come
fair.
on a show and
I'm answering your
post
question.
on it in my
Yes.
personal
count everything. You
accounts. So yeah, so I'm
absolutely.
not
You're confident with
trying to
yourself as a
hide this
man.
part of whatever I'm doing. I'm just
Yeah.
there's
solely
certainly
trying to
that.
figure out if there's another line within the anime realm that you guys have to say, nah, it's just like too
I'm
far.
not gonna dress
for
up
me.
in cosplay. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy
Right.
fucking bobbleheads and fucking
I
stack
mean,
them the fuck up.
he would. I mean, I think it definitely depends on like how far you're willing to take it. Like, am I about to
Dr.
fucking
Stone,
go?
I might dress up.
Am I
yeah.
about to go to my wedding dressed up as like a fucking like otaku motherfucking like slave or
Ninja?
some shit?
Yeah.
No, obviously, like I'm gonna be the fucking man and like like hey, this is what we do. If I get behind closed doors and it is what you want, like hey, that's your fucking preference and that's my preference, whatever, right? But like I don't think that
Spencer out here spitting in a chick's mouth, dude. Jesus
hard.
Christ.
It's hard to draw a line when there's no distinguishing factor between like where does this line start, where does it go, how far do you want to go past it? Like to each person is different. You know what I mean? Like
Let's revise. You revise. I'm going to revise for the both of us. And Spencer, you can, at the end of it, be like, nope, that's not for us. And we can talk about it as we go through. Instead of saying blur the line, that was just kind of a convenient way to say it at the beginning, right? You said it perfect. There's a stigmatism. The stigmatism is what's driving you to not watch it. I would say, pretty much point and blank. We're trying to get you to set that stigmatism aside. Come join us. Come listen from our perspective. You know what I mean? Which might be a surprise to a lot of people. Like, oh, these guys fucking watch anime, and see if you can get into it from that aspect. That's the goal here. The goal here is to get you to kind of open mind, fresh ears, fresh eyes, get in, listen. You know what I mean? And check it out. That's the big thing. So you've done that. You've already accomplished our goals. You know what I mean? You're ahead, like you said, Spencer said, you're going up the ladder. You're already ahead of a lot of these other people out there that are actually you're giving it a shot. So, I hope that answers your question. You know what I mean? Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if there's no line in the sand, then obviously you guys aren't drawing a line.
And so that's why I'm correcting it.
I mean,
Spencer said that there's no really line.
Well,
Go ahead.
No, there's certainly aspects to where you were kind of like I think I talked about in the last episode this 100 show, right?
Yeah, that is on my list, by the way. I was scrolling down and looking at it.
And I'm not gonna lie, the first 3.5 episodes, like I was like half cringe, half like, okay, no, I dig this, and I'm like, wait, no, I'm just joking, I don't dig this, like. Oh well, okay, actually, shit, yeah, no, this is pretty. Oh, what the fuck, dude? No, this is not my shit, dude. Like, so there's certain aspects, I mean, for sure, where you're kind of like,
no, thanks. Yeah.
Let's
move on.
I'll leave it at like a, in this aspect of where we align. This is like a BL thing, and I won't say it any more than that, but like that's fucking, I'll die on my cross, keep it away from me, so but then once you get past that point, you hit the other half of episode 3, you're like, okay, that's what I thought, like I'm all right, like no, okay, I'm stupid, and you enjoy it the rest of to where it's at, where it's like I busted with like fuck. I told Jason about it like last week when we do our episode last week, like Wednesday, and I finished that show on fucking like Friday night or Saturday morning. No, Friday night. I was
100. You finished it?
Yeah, Saturday morning. I finished it on Saturday morning. I was gone. That's right. I was gone that fucking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
But so I banged like the first 2 nights. I banged out fucking. I think it was 7 episodes. And I watched the rest of them. The last.
So you thought you crossed the line, but then you went for it.
No, I absolutely knew at no point in time did I cross the line. But the line was drawn to where I was like, whoa, like no thanks. And then I was like, well, actually, but because things changed at that point, right? You're like, okay, but you'd have to watch that show in order to understand.
I understand what he's saying. Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out. It was on my list, by the way. After you mentioned it, I was like, remember I was telling you, I swear I fucking seen or heard of these names.
It's very, it's
The picture
very
looks cool.
like tech based. I wouldn't say
Not for
Gundam.
Pat. Not for Pat. We already know.
They don't get like super fucking mega. It's like, oh hey, you
Mega
have
blocks.
the
I meant to
you have
mention
the
that.
qualifications to meet like a certain standing, and then if you do that and you pass this test, you get this little fucking thing where like you can fucking transform like certain parts of your body depending on what you were like good at into, hey, this is like my main fucking focus and shit, and you're fighting these aliens that are trying to take over the human race and shit. But
so Pat, what would you say in closing, before I give our little spiel, what would you say? You're a person out there, you listen, we appreciate you. You got all the way an hour plus. This is the longest episode, and because episode 10, baby, little milestone there. We'll see. There might be someone